That'll be an intro.
Hello, welcome to Forbidden Rice, episode 2. I'm Vincent.
I'm Ryan.
And we're just gonna go through some of the snacks we're eating right now. First, I have a Modelo beer, some sour cream and onion ruffles, and some Haribo soda candy.
Fizzy cola.
Fizzy cola.
Fizzy cola gummy candy.
I think this is an excellent combination. Everything's meshing well.
Yeah, I usually throw up everything that I eat anyways, so it's good that we're having all these strange things. Yeah, that's how I stay so slim.
I see. I thought it was from all the basketball you were playing, but I guess I was wrong.
Once a week could only do so much.
Well, you don't appear to be anorexic, so I guess you found it
just enough, yeah.
As they say, good work-life balance. But this is a good. What would you describe that? A vomiting intake balance.
Binge purge balance.
Binge and purge balance. Wow. I think you can market that to Hollywood. That's a good diet, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got this great story about my creative writing workshop that I want to share.
Yeah.
So it's my second week into my creative writing workshop. And during the first week, we all had to introduce ourselves with a short blurb about what we like to do, or what our passion was. So, I'm just trying to follow the prompt. So I said, I like podcasting.
So did you write a blurb?
I wrote a 5-sentence paragraph about podcasting, just a really basic paragraph about this is how I got my inspiration. Yeah. This is how I got my inspiration. These are my influences, and I have a lot of fun doing it.
And you read it to the whole class?
I read it to the whole class, and mind you, this is the first class, and some people said some weird ass personal shit. So we had one guy.
Yeah. Also, what's the demographics?
What's the demographics? There's only 8 people in this. Supposedly there's 9 individuals, but I've only seen 7, including myself. Because apparently I don't know what happened to the other 2 people.
No.
There's 4 white people.
Older or younger?
4 white people, and there's 2 middle-aged individuals, 1 young person, and 1 older lady. Those are the white people. Then there's 3. See, now I can't count.
So there's you. That's 5.
So there's me.
Yeah.
I'm hopefully I can consider myself a young person.
He's Chinese.
And
26?
Mid 26, yes. Can you not make me feel so old?
Man, I'm turning 27 this year. I thought
I'm 20. Yeah, I was the same age.
I was at Target today thinking all right. I was listening to a podcast, Barry Jenkins, the director of Moonlight. He talked about his student film, a student film he made. Basically, he considers it his first film. And he was for reals. He's this is a student film. I feel it's professional. It's something that can be sold or taken to festivals and stuff. And he was yeah, I was 22 because he went to undergrad film school. Graduated at 22 and made that short film at 22. And I was okay, 22. And I was well, I'm turning 26 this year. I guess I'm only 4 years behind Barry Jenkins, but now you just made me realize that I'm turning 27 this year, and it's 2019. All right.
That's why we don't mention our age. That's why we don't date ourselves.
Yeah. So 4 white people.
There's 4 white people.
2 middle-aged, 2 young, older woman, middle-aged man.
2 oldish individuals, 1 middle-aged dude, 1 younger person, and me. And there's this
26 Chinese,
and there's this black girl who looks like maybe late teens or early 20s.
And that's number 6.
That's number 6. Oh, so I guess I'm just bad at counting.
Mark it up.
So I'm just. There's a girl that was around my age. She was also white, so 7.
Oh wow.
What?
So there's 2 minorities.
There's only 2 minorities.
5 white people. Okay.
And okay.
You want to tell me each person's personal story and
Okay,
which person it is?
This is the funny shit.
Alright.
Yo, it's mind you, this is the only first day of class. I don't know any of these people. We're talking about our passion, or that blurb that we had to write about. So first guy, he says, "Oh, I'm a history teacher from Alaska, and in the last couple of years, I've been addicted to meth." And I went to rehab. He was like, "Oh, rehab was so crazy. People were shitting in the sinks, and I almost became homeless. But I was shooting up 3 times a day, and I got lucked out because there was a shelter, and now I'm clean for like 3 years." And I'm just like, bro, that's. I didn't say that, but I was like,
middle-aged white guy.
Like, he was like, "Well, and I used to be disabled, and I got really depressed. I told my therapist I couldn't do anything, and now, I just can't. But my therapist told me, to start writing about my disability or something." I'm just like, yo, I don't even know you. Why are you like, this is some personal ass shit.
Yeah, different culture.
Yeah, I'm just like,
yeah.
Okay, I'm just here talking about like the podcast, and you're telling me that you're a meth addict.
Charles Bukowski, that guy. Have you ever read him?
No.
It's just like a slummy guy writing. He writes a lot of like personal narratives about his time in Skid Row, and motels, drinking fifths of vodka every night, and having unprotected sex. And he somehow has become immortalized.
So that was a middle-aged white. That was like a kind of older white guy.
Yeah.
Now this younger white guy that's kind of like my age. I think he's younger than me. His story was like, "Oh, I just moved to San Francisco like 10 months ago. I didn't know what was going on here. I just like San Francisco, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I had no direction in life. And then all of a sudden, at like 12 a.m. at night, I get a call from my mom, and then she starts crying, saying that, oh my God, like, we'll just call this guy Tom. Oh my God, Tom. I never followed my dreams since I was a kid, and now my only hope's like ride with you and your sister." And so he was saying like his mom was crying on the phone and saying how she didn't follow her dreams, and like just confessing everything to him. And then he was like, "Oh, and because of my mom, I made it a goal to." Well, I'm just paraphrasing him, but I made it a goal to follow my dreams and start my own business. And I'm like, bruh, like, we don't gotta get hella personal and deep in our first class.
These are writers.
I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just following the prompt, guys. And the last story is this girl, the black girl.
Maybe you don't know your passion yet.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, look, I just don't have anything. I just haven't brought out the. Maybe I gotta raise my bar and say some deep ass shit too.
Mm-hmm.
So this girl, she says, "Oh, well, my story is I used to love. I came from Kenya.
She's the young girl.
She said, "Oh, I came from Kenya, and I didn't know anyone in the United States, but I befriended this guy."
Oh no!
But my mom said when my mom saw how he looked like, my mom said I couldn't hang out with him anymore because he looked like a homosexual, and homosexuality is illegal in Kenya. So I was really sad that I couldn't hang out with him. And I'm like, okay.
What does that have to do with a passion, though?
Exactly. I'm like, yo.
Did that bring her to the U.S.? Was he an American or was he a Kenyan?
I think he might have been like. Yeah, he was like Kenyan or Ethiopian or something.
Yeah. So did she actually translate that into like, oh, I want to...
I think her passion was
activism or something?
Her passion was cooking, because that was just like bringing her culture to the United States. So she was the closest. She was the closest.
So she talks about having a gay best friend and then somehow turn that into cooking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, do I just gotta like up the ante and say...
So you got the young white guy, the middle-aged white meth addict, the Kenyan, and so now you're thinking, you haven't gone yet?
No, I haven't gone yet. I'm just like, haha, well, mine is pretty short. I like podcasting.
So you went after the Kenyan?
Yeah.
How many
like-
cents was it? Like 5 cents?
It was like 5 cents. Yeah, I literally just said, because everyone just gave a freaking deep story about themselves, and I was like, oh, mine's pretty good.
You have a mustache.
I have a mustache.
You had the mustache?
I had the mustache. I was just like, you know, I just like podcasting. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers for a couple years, so I think this is a really fun activity to do. And then, I said some couple of other sentences, and they're like, oh, that's great.
Did the other stories have a lot of like follow-up questions and conversation? Or was it just like silence after each one and like rumination?
It was kind of silence, but you don't want to just like leave it at silence because that's awkward.
Yeah.
So I think the instructor was like, "Oh, thank you for sharing something so intimate."
So intimate.
So,
Wow. Any other
flash.
notables? Or the other ones are pretty simple after you?
yeah,
That's funny. I think it's like people trying to flex. Especially, well, I don't know. I guess I kind of experienced that in college, in like seminars and things like that, where there were those few people that really balled out on their participation and their
personal
responses, or even just like their something about the content we were studying, and they just really flexed. But yeah, it's always a certain type of person, I guess. Someone super confident, self-assured. Yeah, I don't know. Cut this out. I don't know where I'm going with this. But then that is a thing, though. That's totally a thing.
because you said cut it out. No, there's always a person lecture.
Yeah.
No, so, for example, in my criminology class, where I was talking about, like, the social fabric of the community, if you're connected to institutions like the church or like whatever, like church, the school, or like your family. And then there's always people who always say like, not to diminish what their experiences are, but there's always someone who's like, oh, I came from the bad neighborhood, like all my friends got killed, like,
Yeah.
I got a rough childhood, like all the police are racist, like, there's always that person.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there are times where I usually keep it pretty low-key, like how you do it. But then there are times where I feel the need to speak out. Not nearly as much as these people probably do. And then the adrenaline starts going. And you're like, I feel like when you knew that you were like third or fourth, you probably had a little adrenaline. Or a little like probably because it was going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
But it probably was a little muted at the same time. But if you knew you were going to share something pretty profound, I feel like your heart would have started racing a little more. Maybe you would have been a little more nervous. Because usually when you're on like the rare time where I will say something super intense, yeah, I get amped a little bit. I do it, and then it feels pretty good. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should like be more vulnerable more often in public. But then like a lot of time passes until I do it again.
Yeah.
But maybe for that, like, I don't know. Maybe their response is even a little stronger, or like that endorphin rush is a little bit stronger. So then they're gonna do it more quickly.
Yeah.
Have more intervals, longer intervals.
I think maybe they're just more used to it. Because I'm like, I'm not hesitant to share. I feel like I have to know someone longer.
Yeah.
Or like, this is the last day of class and this is what you want to share about yourself. Not like the first day of class where you don't know anyone. No, you don't know each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're just making introductions.
Yeah, it's
So
a drug. It has a little drug quality for them, that rush. But then you have to do it more and more, because the more you do it, the more numb you are to that excitement or that thrill. Where we were never taught to feel normal about doing that compared to other cultures.
Yeah. Talking normal about like serious topics.
Yeah. And open up, be honest with yourself and open up and things like that. I was at a birthday party where it was like a pretty small birthday party when I first got there. There was like 4 or 5 people. playing like a strategic card game. You know, something you would probably like a game night that you would go to like with Eric or whatever.
And then eventually it just blew up into this huge party. But it was all like, it was probably like 80 to 90% men, 10% women.
This was in a friend's house?
Yeah, it was like through this guy that my college roommate knew from post-grad. And it was like 90% San Francisco men in the tech industry. But also like kind of more on the nerdier side, not on the your cat's having some of my ruffle. Like on the nerdier side, not necessarily the side that easily like breaks the glass ceiling. Or well, I mean, there's no glass ceiling for them because of who they are. Because it's 90% men. Like, but men who easily have that confidence to like climb a ladder and move into leadership. Wasn't them. It was more Asian or more like that nerdier engineering type. But even if that engineering type was kind of just more on the business side. And the birthday boy was like, oh yeah, something special's coming soon at like 10 or 11 o'clock. And then at that time he called the whole party together. And everybody formed a big circle. Kind of like maybe when you're in school you have like a restorative circle or like a circle where you share.
This was in his house or apartment?
Yeah, after a couple of hours of like drinking and Nintendo.
Damn, so you know something's up.
And like drinking games. And he is like, like a corporate guy that's kind of on the nerdier side, so he feels probably like unfulfilled at his work, and he was like, yearning for something with a little more depth, and he wanted to have this, I read in whatever like the hot non-fiction text is, kind of like a Malcolm Gladwell type text. Oh, I read about these like French salon meetings where you have these topics and you sit together in a cafe and you talk in depth about all these different topics, and then he just like wanted to have that as his birthday party.
Whoa, wait. And so you guys are drinking and partying, and then suddenly you guys form like a circle, and then he tells you that he always wanted something like that, like where you just
Wow. And unfortunately, like all the women didn't want to participate. So there's only one woman in the circle.
Wow.
At this birthday party, there's one woman on the circle, and all men, and then the one woman was the girlfriend of a guy. So she didn't necessarily share all that much. And the guy was kind of a little more. He wasn't this type of person. He was more of a broy guy, so he shared pretty minimally, and she shared minimally and in a way deferred to him.
Was it about like sharing about serious topics?
Yeah, like first, like people went around, talked about their, what their line of work is, and it was a lot of like Dropbox, Salesforce.
Damn, some heavy hitters.
Well, I don't know if it was that, but it was. I don't know if it was like the big names like that, but it was that realm. Like I work for a company that does technology. People shared, and then I forgot what the questions were, but they're meant to spark philosophical discussion about some truth and morality and shit like that. But a lot of times it devolved into people somehow talking about I guess depth for them became, I'm trying not to read Yelp reviews before I go to a restaurant and live in the moment and have a little risk in my life, and that was like their like main example.
A clean slate.
Yeah,
going there with a clean slate.
But yeah, that's their way of like living in the moment, and it was pretty sad. But I knew like I had some bombs to drop about like real shit, like Black Lives Matter.
So wait, you said sad because the stuff they shared wasn't very it was so. Did you think it was like mundane or like?
Yeah, it was mundane. It was privileged. A lot of like
First world problems.
credit cards and miles and what credit cards gets you most points. Yelp.
You should drop Bernie Sanders.
Things like that. That was when the framing of the discussion is there were things that were like more existential and moral and things that really want people in the circle to dig deep and open up or like have some stoner idea about what reality really is or what the world really is. It turned into like American Express and Chase Sapphire and things like that. So that was a moment where I knew like, all right, I'm gonna like actually speak up for once.
Drop some bombs on these guys.
And then your heart starts pounding, and then you say stuff, and then it felt good.
What did you say?
It had something to do with retaining like the pressure of staying at my job. Whereas they might talk about, oh yeah, like if you work a few years, you get a little equity, and then you jump ship to another company, and that's how you get raises, and that's how you raise your salary if you like change your job every year, And then I talked about the gravity of what it meant to change your job when you're in a position that affects people's lives and determines whether people are might help determine whether somebody is going to jail or not when they become a teenager. And what it's like to work at a school like that and the pressure of that. And then it felt good to just like have everybody not know what to say after that,
You broke through.
Because they're just, they would just go on and on about like a lot of bullshit. And then I think another thing was the internal conflict of establishing control, but also not wanting to teach compliance to black children, to not teach them like you have to shut up when you're told to shut up.
So balancing having them on the right track but not being authoritative, is that?
Yeah, like having them be on the right track, but and like having them understand that there are like realities within our society, and you unfortunately have to do certain things to function, versus like not taking away their voice or their ability to be their own advocates. Like no matter what I do, they're gonna be able to be their own advocates, because those kids like really, really do speak their mind all the time.
Dude, maybe that's something that you can encourage. Like, hey, don't settle for the status quo.
Yeah, but for them, the status quo is like a lot of petty shit. Like, oh, he looked at me wrong.
He said this bad word.
He called me a retard. I gotta call him a retard. He called me stupid. I gotta call him stupid. Yeah, and the self-restraint.
I can see that, because it's like, how do you want to? I'll say one point and then I'll jump back into your party. It's like you want to tell these kids about what's going on in the world right now, but at the same time they're like young children, so they might not understand what's going on. So it's like even you're trying to say how like, oh, like look, there's all these like bad things going on, like, oh, there's like racism, there's like war or like whatever, some serious things. It's like at the same time they're not going to understand the meaning behind them or whatever, but it's like you want to make sure they're getting the message, but doing it in a way that a young person could grasp, which is really difficult.
Yeah, really, you got to save a lot of that stuff for high school, middle school. And right now, you just got to give them the tools to be able to access that and be independent and think for themselves. So, I think it's like teaching them independence in a productive way, as opposed to independence in a destructive way. Because a lot of times when you're like in poverty, your brain is just in a different wavelength. It's in like survival mode, as opposed to
Your Ivanka trunk, and you have everything.
Yeah, peaceful, so you can just focus on like slurping up as much information and knowledge as possible. Just in a different mindset. Certain things that are important to people who are wealthy are not important at all to people who might be homeless or without a meal.
And some people who are like working class people, they just gotta. Their priority is just knowing. Sometimes it's just knowing. If they're gonna make it to the next week, if they have enough food, or like if they can make rent on time.
Yeah.
But for like Donald Trump or something, it's just like petty ass shit.
Yeah.
You're not really concerned about your day to day, but probably just like how much money you're gonna get or something.
Yeah. So anyways, like the things we're saying right now was probably what the intent of the circle was, but it did not become that. And it's funny that we can say this to each other in a very comfortable way because we've known each other for so long, but saying the same words just in a different setting just gets your adrenaline firing. Even after you've been like drinking and you have the spirit and self-confidence to speak your mind when you're having alcohol, and then when everybody kind of stops and sits quietly, it just changes.
Okay, we just came back from break, and I grabbed myself a Heineken beer. And Ryan, what are you getting?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I have the same.
There you go. Wow, that must have been a very large. You must have poured a very large cup for yourself.
I just refill it. Maybe you don't notice because you're so into whatever you're talking about.
Oh, so I want to.
You want more?
Maybe later. That's what I was asking you. So I wanted to ask you, when you dropped one of those bombs on that circle, what was the reaction?
I guess it was just they were just respectful listeners and kind of nodded, and maybe one person gave a few 2 cents, but it also felt like from reading the room that nobody really was gonna have a way to respond. So I kind of felt like I was being that guy. That guy who has to put a wet blanket on everything, and
you're that guy.
Shift the mood, and I felt a little bad. I gave a little shrug, but it had to be done. Had to check their privilege.
You had to check the. You had to drop a. Well, you had to make reality clear for them that there's some bad things going on.
Pop their bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what they're doing to this city is so wrong. The people they're pushing out and outpricing and neglecting. It's so terrible.
And this was in San Francisco?
Yeah, it was in the Mission. Damn. What kind of mattress do you have? Like foam.
Yeah, it's a foam.
It's a cot.
It's a cot, exactly. Foam.
We're looking at Vince's mattress.
It's one of those extra long mattresses you get in college.
Yeah. Is that Twin XL? Mm-hmm. Oh, damn.
So if you don't...
It does look like a Twin XL.
Dude, you just have a twin.
Yeah.
My legs are too long.
Yeah.
It's like I'm sleeping in a child's bed.
Mm-hmm.
But a Twin XL makes a big difference.
Yeah. I guess a Twin XL is as long as like a full, but not as wide as a full. Just from the eye test. You got a memory foam pillow?
Not the whole shebang.
Got a lot of needs.
Well, I'm a very needy person.
A $250 pillow. The one I'd least expect.
Well, I'm a very... If you listen to the last episode of Forbidden Rice, we talked about our morning routines, and I'm a very cranky person if I don't have enough sleep.
So you shower in the morning. Do you shower at night?
Yes, I do, Ryan.
You take 2 showers a day?
No less than 2.
I mean, if you lived in Flint, I bet you're a Birdie supporter, man.
Boy, you see, Flint hasn't had clean water in 4 years.
Yeah, where's your I don't know, where's your
I guess I'm just not. Conscious of other. I've been a hypocrite all my life. I'm just not. Damn it, Ryan! You just exposed I'm a phony.
your arms are all crossed now. You're hiding in your shell. 2 showers. I think, yeah.
My theory is the day doesn't begin until my first shower.
What
The
is
day begins.
But you've had days where you didn't shower in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
You feel a certain way, and you never recover.
I feel like I'm just living in a dream.
Oh wow, like you never woke up.
I never woke up. I was just in my robe. I'm just like, where's the
Floating, yeah.
Well, shoot.
So what we were going to talk about, subtle Asian traits. So you want to outline your take one more time?
I'll just outline, give some context, and I'll throw it back to you because I want to know.
Yeah, and you gotta you gotta have your definitive, like what you would do if you were the admin.
Some conviction.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you were the admin, I would. Or if I were the admin.
So as you may know, Ryan, I'm in this group called Subtle Asians Bay Area,
Yeah.
and it's for Asian people. So what it is a networking group that people make events and people go and hang out. So these events could be like meeting up for boba, meeting up for Korean barbecue, whatever, going to art gallery together. So it's literally like a hangout social group.
Yeah.
So this Bay Area group has over 1,700 people. But there's some controversy because there's people who've been complaining to admins, saying like, oh, why are these? I've been noticing non-Asian people posting in the Facebook group, and non-Asian people coming to the events. And I thought this group was exclusively for Asians.
Uh-huh.
So of course, obviously, if you pose a question like that, that's super controversial.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about people's race and you're talking about their personal identity. So then the admins made this poll about should this group be exclusively non-Asian? Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase a second. Should this group be exclusively Asian only? So the majority of the people voted, and people wanted a referral-based system where an Asian individual that's already in the group who identifies as Asian can refer a non-Asian individual to come join the group and to come to the events.
Okay.
So that was the decision.
I'm not a member of the group. What do you do on the group page? Do you go on the group page and that's how you interact with the group?
If you go on the group page, the main reason to go on the group page is just to like see the events.
And then the main at this point it's about the events. Maybe in the past it was the memes that would be posted to the account, and now it's the events.
I think it was mostly for events.
Yeah.
But then people would still post like memes or whatever because people just like to mess around.
And anyone, if you're a member of the group, anyone can post on the group at any time.
That's right.
So it leaves the possibility of like some asshole group of like high school MAGA people like spamming it.
I don't think anyone. There's definitely the possibility of it, but
the admin just would have to do a lot of work.
The admin would probably just like
delete, and then just like everything. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I think personally, I would have liked Asian exclusive group.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with the referral system because it seems like it's a balance. Obviously, you want to bring your friends over. You can't. It's very difficult when you want to exclude someone. Like if your roommate was white or non-Asian, you would say, "Oh, I want to bring this guy to this event." That's kind of shady of you to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't bring him because he's doesn't identify as Asian."
Yeah.
So I think a referral-based system strikes a balance.
Yeah. So it's really not about. It's about the events. It's not about the group. Like, what if somebody's like, "I want to join the group so I can." I'm not Asian, but I want to join the group and I just want to look at funny memes because I understand that culture and I find it amusing. Is that why? It's like when you join the group, does it pop onto your newsfeed? Whatever people post to the group?
Yeah, because I always, I like the post. Or like I comment, and obviously it's on my feed a lot. I think some people take it too far where they see a non-Asian on the group and they think automatically it's like this guy is like fetishing Asian culture or like this has yellow fever or something, which may be true, but
yeah,
I think some people take it too far.
Is it that there's a lot of white people posting onto the wall now?
Very, very few.
And then the admin has the freedom to kick anyone out if they choose to.
That's right.
Okay.
But what would you do? What's your take on non-Asians being in this group or going to the events?
I guess I was thinking it should be Asian only. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm kind of a little more loose about it because it seems like everything should be able to kind of balance itself out. Like, maybe I'm some white guy that wants to go to these events, but every time I go, everybody's just uncomfortable, and then it just is like shitty for me, and then I'm just gonna stop going. Like, when you go, how many white people are there usually?
I've been gone to that many events compared to some other people.
Yeah.
But I think I've only ran into like one person who was an Asian.
Yeah, I think people know what their audience is, and they're gonna go if you know that this is something that I'm actually gonna enjoy. Mm-hmm. I feel like the odds of someone just going in just to troll are pretty low.
Seems like a waste of time.
Yeah, but like, are they that high profile are Asian people that radical in the culture to warrant some MAGA person to come troll? I don't really think so. I feel like we've always been kind of, unfortunately, in the backgrounds my whole life. It's seen as like a non-threat anyways. And I think things just kind of take care of themselves as far as us. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's different for a black American and like whatever social group they might have, but I don't know.
So I think you're saying that if people do come to the events, they'll say like, oh, so they might get the point that
it'll filter out. Yeah,
filter out.
Unless like, I don't think there's anybody that has a lot of gusto that's gonna want to go to a non-Asian event and just be really aggressive, like some white guy that wants to be really aggressive and just ruin the whole event. Because I don't think we necessarily are viewed as, I mean, it's not a good thing, but we're not really viewed as a quote, threat. You know? That's just kind of the perception of our culture anyways. Mm-hmm. Always mild-mannered and dutiful and however you want to describe it. But I guess we're not, I don't know, maybe it's just our personalities or our culture. So I figure, like, I guess my thing is if you don't allow white people, it won't be that big of a deal. If you do allow white people, it'll kind of filter out anyways.
They'll just eventually get the hint.
Yeah, I guess not allowing white people will probably cause more of a stir. Mm-hmm. because then then it actually feels like an affront to them or an attack on them and an attack on their choices, as opposed to like being like, oh yeah, you can show up, and then it won't be a pleasant experience. I mean, maybe because we're Asian we'll be polite, but it'll just like, it won't be fulfilling for you.
I'll give you the cold shoulder.
Yeah, it'll be like a cold shoulder, but also kind of not a cold shoulder, and it'll just be like somewhere in between. It'll just be even more awkward than actually being confronted. And then yeah, I don't know.
We'll shun you somehow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I feel like a person that is in the group, a person that attends the group, is a little too aware. Like, they're also a little too aware to fall for yellow fever or fall for some kind of fetishization of the culture.
Because it's like
even if it's not yellow fever. Yeah.
Maybe everyone's so aware that you don't want to come off as that, so it's like...
Yeah, there's a reason why you're at these events. There's a reason why you join the group. And that it's not... Like, for some people, it still is just like a meme page for them.
Yeah.
People that actually go to the events, it's more than that. And I think they're just way too aware of our culture and what place our culture's in.
Mm-hmm.
That a white person, it won't end well for them anyways if they go to this event. It'll be pretty meaningless. Because they're also not... Ow!
Sorry, Jacob.
Because they're also not the type of people that'll explode and then their like sidekick is recording, and then there's like some PR nightmare because some Asian dude did something too aggressive, and then it's a bad luck, or like some Asian dude lost control, you know? Maybe that's a stereotype that we're very zen, but I mean, that's kind of how I feel like that's kind of how we handle at one of these events. I guess I haven't been, but
don't worry, we'll get you to one.
Yeah,
and we can write about it.
Yeah,
while observing people in the corner.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh.
I guess I don't really have a hard take. I guess my take is let him. Don't kick him out. Don't kick him out. Nothing's gonna happen.
I like that take. I think there's definitely some really...
Like, I do know that white people shouldn't be going to these things. You know? Like,
yeah.
I do believe that it should be Asian only because, like, what are you trying to get out of this? If you're some white person going... But the thing is, we don't need to exclude you. You're just gonna realize, like, there's nothing here for me anyways. We should be able to have our space. I think white people get a little offended when people want their own cultural space, but the reality is there's a lot of cultural spaces that are de facto whites, like super white, even if it's not called super white.
Like my kickball team, like my kickball experience. Which is 90% plus white.
Like, really, this is a white event, but just because it's not called a white event doesn't mean you have to get pissed off that there are events where black people want to only be with black people or Asian people only want to be with Asian people. And just look at the percentages of the country.
Like Black Student Union.
Yeah.
I think it's like there's always...
And
if
a white person does join the Black Student Union, they will... I don't know if they're allowed to, but like I think there should be an understanding. And I guess the people who would fight the idea that a Black Student Union shouldn't be able to discriminate are people who don't believe in, I'm blanking on the word right now. I don't know why, but the employment quotas, and I don't know why I'm forgetting.
Are you talking about affirmative action?
Yeah, like people who don't believe in affirmative action.
I think when you have a group like South Asians or like Black Student Union, and let's just say Black Student Union, if you're like a non-black person and you're joining, I think it's fine. I'm pretty sure like the people in the group think it'll be fine. But then I think there's a de facto like there's an automatic suspicions about your intentions.
And there's not gonna be if there are 50 black people in Black Student Union and 10 white people are gonna join, you know that eventually at least 9 of them are gonna feel uncomfortable and feel like they're encroaching and be respectful and leave. You know, I mean, maybe one of them will stay. You know, but it's just not your time.
Yeah.
Like, you already have kickball. You already have like most.
You have the United States.
You already have like kind of like when there's a funny joke where like someone went up to Aziz Ansari and said, "Oh, you must be really proud of Slumdog Millionaire," and Aziz Ansari, an Indian man, is like, "Well, I had no role in the production of Slumdog Millionaire."
Boy, that's about
You know,
that's so random.
It's
Wait,
kind of
what?
like going up to a white person saying, "Oh, you must really be proud of Titanic, Saving Private Ryan, hanging out." I don't know, any movie.
Well, that's like saying
yeah,
to go black eye and saying you must be really proud of President Obama.
yeah, like yeah. What I love about True Detective season 3 is that Mahershala Ali's character is a Republican, and they're so straight-laced. Him and his son.
Did not know
It's
that.
so funny.
Guess I'm not finishing the season. I'm just kidding.
not telling you're a Democrat. Yeah.
But what year is that? The 80s?
Yeah, it was the 80s. So
Wow.
he wasn't Black Panther. He like went to Vietnam and Southern
That's true.
boy who like did whatever he was told. You know.
Wow.
So that's that.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you, Ryan.
I guess it's like.
What do you?
I guess the path of least resistance, and things will end up the way they should be when you just let white people join the group and then they get filtered out.
They'll just get the clue. They'll get the
Yeah. What are you trying to do? Zeke, quick kickball. You saw your kickball?
I was in it for the people who are unaware. I did. I was in a kickball league called Club Waka last spring. And
That sounds white. Sounds very white.
it was I knew what I was getting into, Ryan, and I was still surprised. I originally wanted to play flag football,
Yeah.
but it just didn't work out, so I signed up for kickball because I was like, kickball. I liked kickball as a kid, so this is gonna be fun. And this is the weirdest thing. So there was like 70 or like 80 people in the league,
Yeah.
and I think there was less than 10 people of color. Everyone was white,
Yeah.
and nearly everyone were like people who moved to the Bay Area.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you don't have a network yet.
Yeah, and it's just like weird because it's like
yeah.
everyone is white, and I'm like the only SF native.
Transplant, yeah.
And so it's like literally, and we played in San Francisco, but I still felt like I was a stranger in my own city, because
They have their own network and their own world, and
exactly.
they find out that they actually know, like, oh, you know this person? Yeah, I do know that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we went to Vanderbilt together. Da, da.
Yeah,
And it's like they're more connected than we are in our own city.
yeah, because there was already like cliques. So I was joining. I was like, I'm just wanted to give this a shot.
Yeah.
And then everyone was already there. There's a lot of people who like knew each other who made teams from like years before,
Yeah.
and it was just weird.
I guess having to an extent, having a friend like the way they had friends when they play kickball is worth like, let's say it's worth like 1 point. Oh, I have a friend, we're both business people or admins or, startup people. It's like, and we're having this shared experience moving to the big city together.
Yeah,
It's like we're at a point, but like for us, I guess we kind of take it for granted and kind of settle because when you have your family, I mean, it's not true for certain people, but I guess for us, as like pretty straight and narrow Asian people, like family's worth like 10 points, and then you don't really need to get too many other points, and you don't need to like try to get all those little 1 point friends.
Yeah, because it's like because we're from here, so it's like, what else do you gotta really say? Like, oh, I'm from SF, like I work in this field. But then for other people, they're like, you know, I'm from like Seattle. You know, I came here to do like my tech job, and I live in like the Mission, and I like, you know, there's all these things.
Like, you're here maybe to like make a lot of money in a startup, but you're also here for that social energy.
Life, yeah. Well,
I guess like I'm that's really fun, and I probably wish I did that more. But
what?
Like going out and meet new people, and
The scene.
like it's pretty rare that I'll exchange numbers with some cool dude that I meet through someone else. Once in a while I will. But most of the time it's like, oh yeah, it was like a nice moment, and then I just have my family, and that's a completely different type of energy, but it's probably more valuable energy to me, even though the other one's probably a more like intense short-term high.
I think that's the same thing for my creative writing class.
There's a lot of
I think for sure a lot of those people who are white,
they went for that short-term high. They shared all that crazy shit.
yeah, they went for the short-term high.
They might be friends right away after this.
Exactly, and they all. I'm pretty sure I was the only native.
Yeah, and then our relationship is more prolonged.
Yeah.
Like over time, I definitely didn't meet you and say something really weird about addiction or God knows what.
Addiction or like
Very innocent.
we're working the same tech field.
Yeah. But then eventually over time it got more in depth, whatever we talked about.
Okay, guys, thanks for listening to episode 2 of Forbidden Rice.
That's a good note to wrap up on. And we'll be back soon.
See you guys.
More snacks.